What was billed as the climactic week for the healthcare overhaul lived up to its name. Last night, the House passed a Senate-approved package of changes, meaning the final piece of legislation is awaiting the president's signature. At a rally in Iowa, President Obama dared Republicans to try to repeal the healthcare legislation. The event was part of an effort that the president is making to explain how the reform will affect Americans. Meanwhile, the rancor over healthcare continues to grow, with at least two GOP lawmakers being targeted for harassment. On Tuesday, someone fired a bullet at the office of Virginia Republican Eric Cantor, and yesterday a threatening letter with a white powder was sent to the office of Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner. And joining us now to wrap up what has been an eventful week, to say the least, is David Mark, senior editor for Politico. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Good to have you here. These threats, at first, we thought were just for Democrats. Now it seems like Republicans are the target as well.
Right. I don't think that's too surprising. Anytime you have people like this in the public eye, sadly, there's all kinds of crazy people out there. People want attention. It's just Democrats who have been publicizing it more, and it's questionable whether that's a good tactic or not. Yes, they're alerting the public to what's going on, but maybe they're also giving copycats some really bad ideas.
Yeah, it could possibly be fuel to the fire. What is the FBI doing right now? I understand they're investigating some of these.
Right. They've been at Congressman Weiner's office in New York looking at this white powder that's come across. Also, some of these other threats that we've heard of. There was one to the brother of Congressman Tom Perriello of Virginia, a Democrat who had voted for the health care bill. There's been a few others that we've heard of. There's probably several more that we're not even hearing of right now.
What are lawmakers doing to quiet all of this? Because they've just been through a really intense week, but obviously I think the American people are looking to them for words that can quiet them down and move us forward.
The Democrats are kind of pointing fingers at congressional Republicans, saying, hey, it's your people, it's the Tea Party folks who are really causing the problems here. It's your responsibility to rein them in. Republican leaders are saying, of course, they don't support any suggestion of violence, but at the same time, they're not responsible for what Tea Partiers and others do, and those people are just expressing their protest rights. So it is kind of a fine line between angry rhetoric, which is allowed under the First Amendment, and threats, physical threats of bodily harm, which of course is illegal.
The president came out in Iowa saying to Republicans, hey, go for it, try to repeal this. Is that something that the Republicans will do, can do? What do you think?
There's several steps that would need to be in place before that were even possible. Republicans would have to win majorities in one or both chambers of Congress. Even if they were to do so, certainly they would not get a veto-proof majority, so President Obama would veto anything that happened. I'm not even sure they would do that once they were in power. There are a lot of seemingly popular provisions of this bill, and I'm dubious that they would actually try and enact that. I think that's more campaign trail rhetoric.
How is Congress going to move forward from all of this? Are they going to be able to pass legislation that President Obama or Democrats suggest?
The Democrats are in Congress, the Democratic leadership are really looking to push through job-friendly legislation. Of course, the unemployment rate still hovers near 10%. Democrats want to be seen as doing something to alleviate the job losses. They have tried to tie health care into the broader economic recovery. So they'll say that's one element of it, but you also need a jobs bill. You need several other measures of social insurance. So I think we're going to see a jobs bill getting through one or both chambers of Congress probably on a once-a-month basis or so before Election Day.
All right, David Mark from Politico. David, thanks.
Thank you.